lovely people. My name is Ravi Varma. You're watching Free Stuff, and today we are going to talk about emailing manager syndrome. You would question, what is that? Well, it's a characteristic of a human being. It could be in any kind of a role. And this human being uses email as a mechanism or as a mode of communication for everything, right? Starting from you logged in to logged out. I log in early, send an email. I log out early, I send an email. I went for a break, I send an email. You're not online, I send an email. So you can also contribute to this list. Put in the weird emails that you have received from so-called managers with this kind of syndrome. Put it in the comment what weird emails you received from your supervisors if you did not like them and you think that it could have been avoided, weird emails. So the individual who do this have this characteristic that I'm calling as emailing manager syndrome, right? And there are a lot of negative things that happens because of this characteristic. And I'm going to talk about one such aspect which we can avoid and yield better results from the individuals, right? So let's take an example of a difficult discussion that you're having with your employee. And what I mean by that is you have an employee who is an underperformer because of XYZ reasons, and you are in a room discussing with that individual about their situation, about the performance, and about the actions that you both are going to take to improve, right? That's how you will improve that employee. Now, what happens in a regular meeting? You will just discuss about these things, and then you will come up with action plans, and then you will put some timelines and then put goals around it, and then start monitoring it going forward, right? And then that individual, whether he or she likes it, don't like it, they will try and discuss with you, and you guys will come to a mutual ground. And it could be a 1 hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes meeting. And after that, that person I follow, I just leave that individual, take a break, whatever, cool off, come back and do their work, right? However, I've seen some individuals, and I call them that they have this characteristic of email manager syndrome. And what they do is, once this meeting is over, once that individual is out of the meeting room, they immediately start jotting out everything that has been discussed on an email, and then they send that out to that employee. So this is something that really bothers me, because it is not going to help the cause. I understand that as a supervisor or as a manager or as a lead or as a person responsible, you want to document this discussion. You want to make sure that in whatever situation, if it's required, you can produce that on such and such date, we had these discussions, these were the action items that we have to take. But it does not warrant or guarantee that we should put that on an email and send that to the employee. In my opinion, what we should be doing is, yes, we should be documenting it, but don't put it on an email. Document it on a shared document. Today we have SharePoint, today we have OneDrive, today we have Google Drive. We have so many places, Google Documents, we have so many places where we could create shared documents. So you can have, or you should have, a performance tracker. And that brings me, when I say performance, I immediately, something rings in my brain, and that's HR, right? Every company has HR, and every company has HR portal. And they all provide us tools to document such discussions, right? So utilize that, or utilize your own documents that you have shared it with your employee. Document it there instead of sending it as email. Now, why I'm saying that, and why I have stressed so much on documenting it in a document instead of putting it on email. So what happens? When you are talking to an employee, ideally they'll be like a closed book. They will not be opening to you. Then you put an effort, and then you make them open up. Then you make them open up a bit, right? Let's say you made them open up a little bit. And over the period of time, you expect them to completely open up, accept everything, and move on and perform solid. But what's happening? They, after this meeting, maybe if they have opened this much, after they come back from their cooling off, probably they went out for a coffee or a puff, and then they come back and they realize that, okay, fine, I've got a feedback now, I have to act on it. They come back only to open their email and then see that whatever I just cooled off, I have to read that again in an email. What happens? They cool off. Very nice after that. They shut off. They just shut off. You cannot do anything after that. You will have to put all the effort that you just did, multiply it by 10 times in the next meeting. So you don't need to do that. Please don't do that. What we have to do it, we have to document in a separate place, share it with the employee. You have a tracking of that document. He or she has a tracking of that document, and let the emails do what they're supposed to do, and continue with your discussions. Whatever actions you have documented there, make sure both of you follow that. And I'm sure if the employee has understood what you have explained them, they will definitely do good. Best of luck. You're watching Free Stuff. My name is Ravi Verma. Bye-bye.